Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Like anybody who went crazy with that's like, come on, man. Have you not been paying attention?
Well, like the moment that Trump said, "Oh, they raided me. They turned everything upside down," I was like, "Oh, it was probably 4 guys who were like, can we have a box?"
Yep.
That's like literally what it was. One car.
Yeah.
One car with like 4 guys in polo shirts in it who were like, "Can you give us the box of the files?" And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah. And there was an investigation about improperly removing classified documents from the White House. It's probably like birthday cards from fucking from Angela Merkel or something. It's like absolutely anodyne. It's the lowest of low hanging fruit, but they got to keep you hogs invested to the midterms.
Yeah, they made it sound like Trump was like spending time with his family, and then a flashbang came in through the window. they like shot Barron.
Yeah, like a dog.
I have friends like Melania Trump. She'd spit on the floor. She'd spit on her own floor. That never made any sense to me.
They are claiming that the feds went through Melania's clothes, though.
Oh my God, violation.
Little nice little. Woo!
Polly Walnuts action.
Yeah, sort of a strong bouquet. So feds did a sweep, and by the way, like if any of you guys still have any documents from the National Archives, now would be a good time to get rid of them because they're rolling everyone up in the box hunt.
This is when you are somebody who's like you're a level, you have to be the level above Duke Cunningham. That's the level I figured out. The level above Duke Cunningham is a level where you're like you can't die in a car accident.
Yep.
You can't like go down for like a normal crime. Yep. You can't like generally that's the level of protected. Mm-hmm. Where the only crime you can ever be investigated for, never charged with, by the way. Like, if you're an elected, you never actually get charged with this. It's doing a boring thing with documents. Mm-hmm. It's that you got, like, semi-classified material and you put it in the wrong folder.
Yeah.
And they only do that if you annoyed them.
Right. Yes. It's shaking the tree and just letting you know, like, we have these mechanisms in place to make you play ball. That's it.
It says here, Trump broke the news of the raid himself, complaining in a statement Monday evening that the unannounced raid was not necessary or appropriate, and the FBI agents even broke into my safe. Folks, if the FBI can do that, to Donald Trump, they can do it to anyone.
It's true. We should all be very afraid.
That's the best argument I've seen
my favorite argument.
Yeah. Oh, if they can do it to him, they're going to do it to you. It's like they do it to you.
Yeah,
they do it to like everyone else in the world.
Yeah. No, it's like I'm sorry. The beauty of not having to care about January 6th is that I don't have to care that the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago and fret about it and think that it's some transgression of norms.
I guess like in the reactions to this. The most enervating part is that now everyone has to sort of reform their takes on the FBI based on whether it's good or bad based on the person it's doing it to. And, my attitude about the FBI is like basically every institution of American government. It is not possible, even if it wanted to, of doing good things that produce good outcomes.
Nope.
However, it can produce funny things. It can do funny things that lead to funny outcomes.
Like the fact that they've got one of their FBI school shooter groomers talking in discords to Barron every day. That's very funny.
But no, I've been reading. I mean, obviously the Trump people they're losing their minds over this, so they're pretending to because it's like they're making a good show of it. They're playing the part that they've cast themselves in, which is sort of the defender of the republic. And if the FBI can get a box from Donald Trump's house without even announcing that they were coming to get the box. I mean, if they had told them, hey, we're coming to get the box.
Kiss your box goodbye, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've got like a memo commemorating Brent Scowcroft's service to the State Department that you accidentally took from your job like 3 years ago, and you put it in your gross desk that has like $7,000 worth of Sudafed in it, you're going down. You're going to have to go to a boring congressional hearing that actually you don't have to go to. That you could just skip and like nothing will happen.
Trump actually did just plead the fifth today in New York federal court. I think over his tax records or whatever.
On advice of counsel, I'm pleading the fifth. Okay, that's a good one.
But basically, I'm like half of the media reactions to the feds doing a raid on Trump that I've seen, even from basically all just admitted that what he did is illegal, but if he's prosecuted for it, it could destroy the republic.
Yeah, it's amazing how few people really get their minds around the idea that if you are saying that you cannot politicize law enforcement by going after political perpetrators once they reach a certain office, then you are making it permissible to do whatever you want, because it's a political office. It's a partisan office. So any investigation of it will be perceived as a partisan by people who are on the side of that person. Like, there's no getting away from that. They want some world where they can like have a federal government that can regulate the behavior of people like the president, but that does not trigger like a partisan response that might undermine the institutions that these people fetishize. But I'm sorry, we're long past that point. Like, all of these institutions have been fully politicized. So the only question is, do you prosecute crime when you see it or not?
I did like a lot of the reaction from the MAGA people that were just sort of like, where is DeSantis on all this? DeSantis let this happen, like
he's
gave
back
him,
there.
He gave him the backdoor key to
his hands
Mar-a-Lago.
together.
Yeah,
I like the idea that it's like DeSantis let it like he's Walter Frey and he controls the only bridge into Florida.
he controls the main land routes across the Florida Panama City Panhandle.
He like makes Chris Ray marry his son to his daughter. He's like, okay, now you can go into Florida and take Donald Trump's box of documents.
You could take Donald Trump's box of documents if you marry my ugliest daughter.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm DeSantis, I'm of two minds about this. It's like, obviously, your fingers crossed they bring him down, but if you're not a complete moron, you don't think that's likely to actually happen. But at the same time, him getting raided makes him more of a G, and that is not an argument to not do it. Like, abstractly, first of all, who cares? I mean, we have no say in it, but you can't argue, his supporters, they are they like him more when something like this happens. Like, yeah, no shit. That's why they're his supporters. Like, they're not movable. That's the whole point of them. Like, fretting about how any action reflects on Trump's supporters is meaningless, unless you're a guy like DeSantis who's going to have to run against him, and he's going to have to contrive a situation where the feds raid him before they start running against each other if he wants to be competitive.
I saw someone say, like,
he needs to like put CP on the government computer network in Tallahassee, and then like go dime himself out to the FBI, and then say this is a political witch hunt. And of course, every QAnon dipshit would believe that instantly.
Yeah, they get people just doing escalating federal crimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it's like drill. Like, you can't run for a Republican nomination unless you spent like 5 years in federal prison.
Yeah. You're not making it on the ballot if you don't have a teardrop tattoo.
They need to spin the block in front of the FBI offices. They need to go op hunting in the Herbert Hoover building.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Edgar Hoover building.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis today fired 15 rounds of an AR-15 into the FBI headquarters. That would be very funny if he did that. You should do it.
Well, no, like speaking of that, I did see one reaction that was just like, DeSantis literally has an army at his disposal. Like, why weren't they deployed to stop 4 guys in polo shirts from finding a box in Trump's closet or something? I love that idea, though. I would love to see like a phalanx, like an armored division of Village's golf carts, just like a real siege standoff with the feds.
Like the classic, the Lager technique of like the Hungarian and Ottoman armies, where you get your troops, you line them up with like wagons, only in this case golf carts. They would be impenetrable.
Do they mean the National Guard?
I think they mean the Florida National Guard.
National Guard.
That's all guys who like wanted to get a molar taken out. they're not like if you
Sarukar.
Like a guy who won who won like 49.7% versus 49.3% is not going to command them to start a civil war.
Hey, hi. You know how you joined the National Guard so that you could sell your wife's Tupperware MLMs to them, to your fellow soldiers? Yeah, now you have to go die for the government. You have to go eat lead from a fucking Apache attack helicopter.
Yeah, you have to kill these 4 guys in polo shirts, and then you have to get Tallahassee nuked. Like all because it's like you like 7 years ago you were like, ooh, a Dodge Viper.
Felix, remember the scene in Dune where they're on the Sarukar planet and they're doing the throat singing ritual?